Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, hello, hello. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. This is going to be a group energy healing live stream where I do an energy healing for 130 people who are currently in 13 countries. And it's a set of 3 healings. It's the second in the set of 3 healings, although if you're just watching and healing yourself as you watch, which you're welcome to do, you don't have to do all 3. It's just that I'm doing a set of 3 for the people that purchased this set 2 months ago on my page, on my website, janetwrightreadings.com. And just again to note, although I will email my news email list eventually about this, but this 15th, the 15th of this month, when the March sessions go up for sale, I'm going to do it an hour and a half later than usual because earlier that day I'm doing the live stream, healing live stream for the triplet set. Healing 1 of 2 of the triplet set, twin set. So I'll be busy at the normal time that they're supposed to go up. So anyway, they'll go up at an hour and a half later on the 15th. And that information, like I said, I'll be emailing my news email people to remind them. And I will eventually post it on my website as well. So that'll be, those will go up at 1:30 Pacific, 3:30 Central, 4:30 Eastern. And you can email me if you're in a different country and you need help figuring that out. Okay, so the theme of this set is let go. Letting go is basically the theme, although I like to say let go of your SHIT. I don't know. I think sometimes swearing, for adults only, guys, kids. But I think, it can be a bit liberating, maybe, if you had a restrictive childhood. So maybe that's why it's more motivational as a healer to think of like letting go of your crap. But anyway, that's the theme, letting go. But not in the sort of like, floaty, floaty, let go of reality. But, letting go of real crap that you have from this and past lives, consciously and subconsciously, that's in your way, including burdens from other people. Burdens are kind of like just dumped energy. Sometimes they're energy that you took on from other people. But, it just implies like a heaviness, obviously. But anyway, burdens and limits from self and others is especially what we'll be letting go of, but we'll just let go of whatever that you need to let go of, including grief. Grief is a whole bunch of energy blocks from different chakras and different aura layers. So that this healing will be good for that too. La la la. As far as how today's healing, Sunday, January 8th, 2023. How does this healing relate to the one we did 2 days ago? It's sort of like staying the course with enhancements. So a lot of what we did 2 days ago is what we'll do today, but then I will enhance it in certain ways based on observations, what the angels have told me already, and also what I noticed by reading people's surveys. So thank you very much for your survey feedback. Surveys, it's a link that I email to the people that paid for the healing, like the healing was on Friday, late Friday night. I emailed people and emailed the survey link so that they fill it out the next day on Saturday. because a lot of times you might feel a certain way after healing, but then the next day you sleep, and then the next day, you know, you may feel differently, and so it's just more efficient to get the survey the next day, because then you could say whatever you want out of all that. Okay, great. So as far as, you know, because I just said, well, we're going to stay the course from the Friday healing. So what the heck does that mean? Well, you know, there are certain things that we did that worked very well. Like comfort moments is simple, and it did help. That's where you're stuck in not negative experiences in the past, but in your past, but positive experiences in your past. You can like overly root yourself in those, the healthiest way that is most supportive to your total fulfillment and happiness is to not be in those past time moments, but to be here and now, and not have energy stuck there, because that way you can still, I described it 2 days ago, like a music coming to you, reminding you of all these beautiful experiences that you've had, maybe consciously, maybe subconsciously, but you're centered and here. So anyway, that helped, and we're gonna do it again. 2 days ago, we cleared, we imagined, you know, you on your spiritual path, and, you know, are you moving forward, yada, yada. Are you dragging something? Is there something weighing you down or blocking, blah, blah, blah. And those are, you know, burdens and limits can look like that. And so we're going to do more of that, but we're also going to clear denial, just through intention, mostly. I think when you're using intuition and clairvoyance and intention and all that good stuff, you can just sort of will yourself to be aware of things that you were previously in denial about. So we're not going to do any complicated clearing denial process. We're just going to, you know, use intention to clear denial. And so we're going to clear more burdens and limits than you initially we're going to, because we're going to clear burdens and limits, then we'll clear denial, then we'll clear more burdens and limits, then we'll clear more denial. Denial is like where your mind is like, no, that's not there. You know, it's just not aware of a whole bunch of stuff. And sometimes that is, I mean, there is a productive use for denial, because sometimes things are just too much for you to handle. But in this context, it can get in the way. So we will, to the extent that's healthy and gentle, we will be clearing denial so that you can also clear even more. Okay. We're going to clear resistance and stagnation in this exercise where, well, I don't want to really explain it too much, because then that triggers just too much before we start. But there will be a nice thing that we're doing to clear resistance and stagnant energy. Or stagnant or stuck energy. And we're going to do chakra unblocking. I mean, we always do chakra repair and unblocking in general, but then I will do it like just 2 chakras at a time, like chakras 4 and 5, and then chakras 1 and 2. We will probably repeat, we did leg unblocking 2 days ago, so if that's needed again, I will do it again. We use gold bottle brush to unblock the legs and hips. We may do good karma window unblocking again if I see that it's needed again. We did that 2 days ago, which helps with, it can help with a lot. The biggest thing maybe that it can help with is being less overwhelmed and just more mental clarity and focus. And that's good karma window unblocking and repair. So gold bottle brush for the legs and good karma windows are kind of on the maybe list for today. But definite list is 4th and 5th chakra work and 1st and 2nd chakra work. clearing debs really helped. We used the safe bomb exploding chamber, which is just that little gold device that you make to put the like worst of your junk in there and blow it up. And we did that, and that I think particularly helped people. One lady was talking about how her husband's mood was like much better, and I think it was because we cleared a lot of debs. Deep energy block, deeply repressed energy blocks, DEBS, deep energy blocks. So we cleared some of those. So that's on the maybe list again, to do more of that. So yeah, it'll be cool. So I'm going to read some comments. Thank you so much for all the confirmations I'm getting. That does help. So I know I'm not just talking to my laptop. Good morning, Jen. I can see and hear you in sunny San Francisco. Someone says, hi from Chicago. The sun came out today. How about that? It's been overcast for weeks. Ooh. But sometimes in Chicago in the winter, when it's sunny, it's also extra cold. So that's my question. Is it extra cold now that it's sunny in Chicago? Hello from Evergreen, Colorado. Sunny and 43 degrees. Well, isn't that nice? Ready to let go of all the burdens and wounds. Yes, yes, yes. Oh yeah, we did heal inner wounds 2 days ago, but I think we don't need to do that again today, but that was nice. Someone says, hey Janet, we can see and hear you in Chicago. Thank you. Someone says, hi from Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland. So it says, hi from Indiana. Hello. Yes, so here in Olympia, Washington, it's probably, I'm guessing, about 45 degrees, although I don't know exactly, but that's my estimate. About 45 degrees, rainy, cloudy. Right now, it may be just sprinkling and not raining a lot. I don't mind that. Like a lot of times here, it'll just sprinkle rain. You know, it's not like a downpour. Sometimes we do get downpours too, but a lot of times it's just like a steady, sprinkly kind of rain. It happens so often in the winter that, you know, it's almost like, I mean, it's not nothing, because when I go out with the dogs, I have to take Daisy's onesie off if it's raining. But if it weren't for that, then it would just be like such a non-event. Someone says, oh, they're modifying their weather report, adding to it, Chicago weather report, it's not extra cold. Oh, very nice. Oh, for once, 34 degrees Fahrenheit and sunny. Well, isn't that good? Good, good. Good for Chicago in January. Someone says, I healed myself for the first healing, and it was really powerful shift for me. Oh, good. Uncovered a lot of resistance I wasn't aware of. Yay. That is nice. Okie doke. Well, this is a beautiful thing. And let's do this. Let's do this. So, I will pour myself some tea. Today's tea is, well, the tea at the moment is rooibos tea. And before that, I had honeybush tea earlier this morning. Let's see. Pouring the first cup is always a little tricky. There's generally some spilling involved. But that's okay. Alrighty. So now I will finally be quiet for about 3 minutes or so. And I will finish my prep during that quiet time, say hi telepathically, which means non-verbally, to the 130 people that I'm going to be healing, just to make sure that they're aware that on a spirit level that the healing's about to start. And then during that quiet, towards the end of it, I'll start the healing. You'll see me move my hands like that, so you know I've started. And then I will start talking out loud a minute after that, and the whole rest is a walkthrough. So you're welcome to heal yourself as you listen. Although if you're one of the people I'm healing, you don't really have to. You could, though. It could be fun. You won't get in my way. Oh, right. So now I'll be quiet. That's too hot. Hold on one sec. There you go, buddy. Our dog Abel gets these leg spasms, and then he starts walking around and making his leg spasms even worse. So when he's in a kennel, then the leg spasms aren't a problem anymore. All right, thanks for waiting. So when you heal yourself, you can make a copy out in front of you of your energy system and use your hands to run gold light through the copy. And as you heal the copy of yourself, you are healing yourself. And the plus of using a copy is, well, as your clairvoyance sort of wakes up and gets better, you have your copy right there to view. And you can spin around your copy, you can move your hands through your copy, and as the ability to feel energy with your hands wakes up and gets better, you know, you're helping it to get better by practicing, by combing through your copy. So you have hand chakras, one in the palm of each hand. They're nice and big energy centers that generate a lot of energy. Also, you have fingertip chakras, one in each fingertip. And so you can set all of those energy centers to a metallic gold color. You don't want other energy centers throughout your body to be generating gold light, but the ones in the hands, that's nice. If you set all your body chakras to a metallic gold color, it would be way too high for your body system. Like red is a really good color for your body, which is like at the lowest end of the rainbow, slowest moving. So there's like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, you know, blue, purple, and then there's gold. So fast moving, slower moving, and then there's brown. So red is nice for like, you know, body chakras, like all those little acupuncture points. And then the major chakras, if you want, I would suggest you use the rainbow system. So red, with your intention, you set your major chakras to be red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, deep blue, and then purple in the top of your head. Anyway, that is explained in a 3-video set. Well, not the red part, but some of that's in a video set I have called 7 Chakras or Layers Flow, which will be linked below later in the comment section. So anyway, so you have 17 auras. You can imagine those out in front of you, all in the same place. And you have your physical body and your astral body inside those 17 auras, and you have 2 groundings, one for your astral body energy system and one for your physical body energy system. And that's what we're going to work on now, is your grounding. A lot of times I say grounding and it sounds like it's singular because I don't put an S on the end, but you do have 2 groundings and you can always work them at the same time. So just recreate your groundings. Nice big wide connection all the way down to the core of the earth. Red or orange or yellow are nice colors for your grounding. And then you imagine a copy of your grounding out in front of you and you use gold light to melt away the blocked energy. And if your grounding is too tight and narrow, also, I mean, you can destroy it and recreate it and create it wide from the get-go, but you could also just melt away the block so that it opens back up. Sometimes you can have energy blocks in your grounding that you're in denial about. And maybe they've been there so long you've sort of taken it as like your default. So go ahead, be aware of the energy blocks in your grounding, your groundings, your connections to the core of the earth. And just be aware of those blocks that you're in denial about. You have been in denial about up till now. up till now, this glorious moment of self-awareness. And just melt those blocks with gold light. You can have too, like, you know, say this is the edge of your aura, so you know you want your grounding as wide as your whole aura, so then your grounding is that wide, you know, all the way down. But like towards the back part, the very back part, you can have like a big wall of stuck stuff that you're just really not that aware of because it's flowing more in there. You know, the inner part is more flowing, but then this outer sort of crusty perimeter, we don't want anything crusty. So you can just melt that. Your crusty perimeter, if you have one in the back of your aura. You have back of your grounding. Also another thing with your grounding, you can have invasive beings there. You're a giant being, so it's nothing to be afraid of, but you know, it's kind of like you brush your teeth, you get rid of little food bits and little bits of plaque and stuff, and so, you know, we're just being thorough. So you can use collapsing gold nets. You can imagine like they could be, well, let's just do it for your grounding at first. So imagine you're grounding and then a giant cube of gold netting that's bigger than that, and then collapse the net in so that it tangles up and catches all the junk in your grounding, including invasive beings, invasive people, etc., and just drag all the junk out. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. More collapsing gold nets. Collapse in, drag out all the junk. Say, angels, here you go. When you hand beings like that to your angels, you know, tangled up in netting, the implicit request is you're asking your angels to recycle all those beings. You know, permanently get rid of them. You know, and you don't have to worry about that. Like if it's a being that just, you know, means well and just got confused and there's a positive use for it somewhere in the world, the angels know that and they'll help that being out. But most of the time, these are beings that are just, you know, they have, if they weren't messing with you, they'd mess with someone else. So once you make the request, your angels just get rid of them, and then their energy gets converted into, you know, something else later that's positive. So anyway, you're grounding, collapsing gold nets, collapse them in, get rid of the beings and the junk. Angels, here you go. Collapsing gold nets, collapse in the nets, get rid of the junk. Angels, here you go. And then we could do that for your whole space too. So imagine, you know, your auras, your physical body, your astral body, your groundings, and make a big cube of gold nets even bigger than that. Collapse it in, get rid of all the junk, invasive beings, invasive people, energy blocks you want to get rid of, drag it out. Angels, here you go. Couple deep breaths into all your major joints after that, just to adjust. And again, collapsing gold nets, much bigger than you. Collapse that in to tangle up all the junk. Give that to your angels. Angels, here you go. Couple deep breaths. All right, good job. So that was just grounding, plus a lot extra with clearing denial so that you're more aware of energy blocks in your grounding and clear out more. And then using gold nets to get rid of invasive beings in your grounding and also everywhere in your space. Alrighty. So now we'll do indie grounding, which is just quick. You just you're still working your grounding, but you're aware of the outer perimeter all the way down the outer surface of your grounding, and you melt away anybody else's grounding that's attaching to your grounding, because that messes it up, messes up their grounding too. So just melt away. Use gold light, melt everything away, so that your grounding only goes straight down. And just remind yourself, hey, it's okay. You know, this grounding is to stabilize you. It's like there are ways to help people in the world, but this is not one of them. if you link your grounding up to other people that you think you're helping, you're just blocking yourself up, and there's no like positive result for them or for you. So just use gold light and melt away all those connections to other people's grounding. You can remind the people you care about, hey, go ask your angels to help with grounding. Ask your angels for help with grounding. And it's okay to kick people out of your grounding. Go ahead and wash people out of your grounding. Sometimes you have people that they really think they're helping you by being in your grounding, because they're just confused about how energy works. And so go ahead and allow yourself to kick out even well-intentioned people from your grounding. It's not like you're punching them in the face and kicking them out. You just use gold light and explain, hey, no, you'll have a better day. I'll have a better day this way. It's better for both of us. Sometimes people understand it if you say, hey, I just need some breathing room. Hey, I just need some breathing room. Go check your own grounding. I need breathing room. Hope you have a good day. Have a good day. All right, great. So that's indie grounding. And also just washing people out more. Okay. So now we will do aura repair of your 17 auras. The physical body aura, the astral body aura, and 15 Wei Qi auras, which are Wei Qi is your natural defensive energy, helps with your immune system, helps with just energy boundaries. So I'll type out Wei Qi, W-E-I-C-H-I, which is a traditional Chinese medicine concept. Although the angels told me that you have 15 Wei Qi auras. That's not a, if you talk to your acupuncturist about Wei Qi auras, they won't understand. Well, mine kind of got it. She's like, oh, that makes sense. But she's special. All right, so aura repair, man, lots of sidelines today. So now we will do aura repair. Always good, rather than just talk about it. So you imagine your 17 auras. You could comb through it first, just through them all, just see if you can be aware of where the rips are. You get rips because people throw energy sometimes. So composite copy technique is where you imagine one rip. Composite copy technique for aura repair is where you imagine one rip, and you, with your intention, you have that rip represent all the rips in all your 17 auras that are healthy and gentle for you to heal right now. So you have your composite copy rip, and then you clean it out with gold light, and you also use sticky gold wax to clean it out, because that's very thorough and does not require vision to know, like, oh, I've cleaned out enough. And so just fill it up with sticky gold wax, which is just gold light from your hands that hardens and sticks to whatever's not you, so that you can lift it out as a big lump. So angels, here you go. So fill up the composite copy rip with sticky gold wax and have it stick to everything that's not you, and lift everything out like a chunk. Angels, here you go. So now your rip should be nice and cleaned out, and so it can, that gold light can really soak in and get that repair going. All right, and then you may have one or two rips still left over that didn't repair, so we'll do an extra composite copy for the leftover rips. So imagine one more composite copy representing any rips you still have in your 17 auras that are healthy and gentle to heal right now, to repair right now. And sticky gold wax those to clean them out, get rid of the junk. Angels, here you go. Fill it up with sticky gold wax, have it stick to the junk, get rid of the junk. Angels, here you go. And then the gold light should absorb well. And the healing, the repair should happen gradually. So just keep using more gold light. All right. So then you can have hardness left over at the edge of your auras, which I call aura scarring, or you can have hardness, layers of it internally, which I call aura bruising, and either way that weakens your aura to have hard parts. So you can just put all the copies of the hard parts, the aura scarring and the aura bruising, make a big pile of that and just melt it away with gold light. And go ahead, put some more out there that you have, more aura scarring and aura bruising, and just make a big pile of it and melt it away with gold light. You might have this especially around, like if you're having lower back pain, then you probably have some aura bruising around some of the layers right by that area. If you have bad knees, you might have, bad knees, you might have aura bruising around your auras around your knee. But it can be melted away, and that helps the circulation and the flow of energy, which can have a positive effect on how that area feels. So again, any leftover aura scarring and bruising that you have, and go ahead and will yourself to have less denial, right? And put out more of your aura scarring and bruising, and then just melt it away with gold light. So again, less denial, right? Deep breath. I am releasing denial. I am releasing denial. Because you're releasing unhealthy denial, which is the stuff that you don't need to be in denial about anymore, and it's just silly and in your way. So I'm releasing denial. And then, you don't have to say those exact words, but that's the idea. And then just any scarring and bruising, or scarring and bruising that you're ready to melt away, just go ahead and pile it out in front of you and use gold light to melt it. All right, good job. We'll do some quick I think that gold netting was nice. We could do more of that. Just gold netting to get rid of hard energy objects. So gold netting all the way down to the center of the earth, all the way above your auras, and just close that in and have it drag out all the hard objects that are stuck. And just here you go. Hard energy objects are usually like sort of spear-like things that people throw, but recently I saw someone who had a lot of them that looked like razor blades. So, you know, people have different ways of screwing other people up. So delightful. But anyway, so collapsing gold nets, drag out all the hard objects, angels, here you go. Collapsing gold nets, drag out the hard objects, angels, here you go. And then just do a little extra repair. And that is very bad karma to throw hard objects at somebody else. So I would never, ever, ever, ever recommend it for any reason. It's really not in your best interests to punish other people, even if they did it first. It's bad karma. So we're just using gold light around the outer surfaces of your 17 auras just to finish up the repair in case you have any little leaks left over. Couple big breaths. And then gold light inside too, everywhere. In your physical body, your astral body, your groundings, all your auras. Alrighty, so that was aura repair. Good job. So, recreate your gold buffer zones. And there is a reference video about that, which I will link below later. Gold buffer zones. They help protect your auras, your two regular auras, astral and physical. All right. Creative ring repair. Let's do that. So 3 gold rings. You have 3 gold rings above your head. They generate energy, kind of like chakras do, generate energy. But a chakra is shaped like an open cylinder, pretty much. Although some of them are kind of, you know, funny shaped, just like the one in your hand. You know, you can't fit something like this in your hand, right? So it's more flattened, but the round opening is here and here. But same idea. But the creative rings, they're just rings, right? But they do generate energy. So you can make a copy of those out in front of you and repair them with gold light. So they might need repair because they can get cracked, they can get shattered and pieces missing, scratches, all sorts of stuff. So you can heal the underside of the rings also because they can get scratched up. And definitely melt cords going into these creative rings. There's no good reason for anybody to cord your creative rings. One of the people I'm looking at, her husband used to, her now soon to be ex-husband. I mean, you know, they're separated, but the legal part, you know, that takes time to divorce fully. But he was so used to influencing her energy that, you know, and she has so much better boundaries now that he's kind of getting desperate. So he'll try to court anywhere he can. It's just silly. But anyway, so he tries to court her creative rings sometimes too. No. But like, yeah, I could give other examples of other people, but anyway, yeah, there's no good reason. No, it's not helpful. for anybody to do that. So lots of gold light and just melt away the cords from your creative rings. The flaps close in your creative rings. These flaps that stick out, they fall shut and close nicely when you melt the cords and unblock enough. And that's nice because when the flaps are closed, it's so much more relaxing. And you have those flaps around the round openings of the major chakras as well. So then we'll just do a little extra unblocking. I saw that it was nice how we did it 2 days ago with the sticky gold wax. So we'll do that for all your major chakras at the same time. So that was nice. So just imagine a copy of your 3 gold creative rings and then your 7 chakras, astral and physical, one inside the other, 6 chakras, 5th, 4, 3, 2, 1. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And so just sticky gold wax, which is gold light that hardens on the junk that's not yours, that you're ready to get rid of. So you can remove it all in a chunk. So gold wax in and around your creative rings and all your major chakras, and then just move out the wax and the junk. Angels, here you go. Nice deep breath. Wiggle your toes. Sticky gold wax to your creative rings and all your major chakras. And move the wax and the junk out all at once. Angels, here you go. Okay, great. So that was creative ring repair and unblocking. So then now we will do chakra repair and unblocking. So we'll use composite copy technique, which is nice because it's time efficient, and also you don't need to be able to see energy yet for it to work well. Didn't spill that time. So, oh no, I did. So you create one energy object that looks like a chakra, and you have your intention is that composite copy chakra represents all your major and minor chakras, and you heal and repair that one, and that therefore you're healing and repairing all your major and minor chakras. So major chakras are the 7 along your astral body spine, and then the 7 along your physical body spine. But then the minor ones, you have a couple along your spine, but they're also all these acupuncture points all in your physical body. Super cool and important. Those I call them minor chakras just because they're smaller in size than your major chakras. Okay, so, and it sounds cool, major, minor. So anyway, your composite copy of a chakra looks like an open cylinder. Just use gold light to repair it. And your intention is that as you repair it, you're repairing all your major and minor chakras at the same time. And melt cords, use gold light to melt cords as well. The only cord I would say keep is if you have young children, 13 years or younger, keep the first chakra cord to your kids, to your young kids. If they're older, it's best not to have any cords. So gold light, let these chakras repair. They can get crushed, which is no fun. They can have hard objects stuck in them, and that can get in the way of the repair. So you can just sticky gold wax the whole thing and have the hard objects Stick to the wax, lift all the hard objects, give it to your angels. Again, sticky gold wax to get rid of all the junk, including hard objects. Lift out the junk. Angels, here you go. And so then once the repair's done, then it's more about unblocking. So you just melt away. It's like you can have hard blocks like wrapped around the chakra, or blocking the openings, or inside the chakra itself, just sort of stacked up in there. So just imagine those energy blocks and melt them away with gold light. And typically the more that you clear, the more that your chakra kind of unrepresses more and more. So don't think it's not working if you just keep seeing more and more blocks. Just keep melting them away with gold light. Because you're melting away blocks that you didn't clear 2 days ago, or 2 years ago, or 20 years ago, but also blocks that you never got around to clearing 20 lifetimes ago, and 10 lifetimes ago, and last life. So give yourself a little bit of time. Give yourself a minute to melt away whatever blocks you're ready to melt right now. Part of letting go, which is the whole theme of this triplet set, I'm using a lot of air quotes today. The letting go theme is flow. If you don't have flow, everything just sort of cakes on and gets stuck. If you have nice flow, then it's easier to sort of drop things into the river of energy flowing out of down to your grounding or something, or out of your chakras. So good flow is important. So you just imagine the energy blocks that are messing with your flow, that are in and around your chakras, and melt them, or lift them out. Give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. Lift out those blocks. Angels, here you go. So better and better and better flow of energy. And we were talking about denial, right? So sometimes, you're just in denial about the blocks that are there. So just with your intention, as you take a deep breath, just release some of that denial. Definitely the unhealthy denial that is just in the way. Let it go. And then be aware of extra energy blocks in your chakras that you wouldn't have been aware of otherwise. And just lift those out. Give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. Lift out these extra energy blocks that you wouldn't have been aware of. Angels, here you go. And again, melt cords, and the more you melt, the more those flaps around the outer surfaces of your, around the round openings, can close and relax, so that your energy can flow through these round openings, but these flaps around the outer perimeter are closed, and therefore it just makes it easier for you to have boundaries with other people. It makes it harder for people to cord. All right, good job. So that was chakra repair and unblocking. And I did talk a little bit about, for a moment, about chakra flaps. Okay, so we've done our 4 essentials. grounding, aura repair, creative ring repair, and chakra repair. 4 essentials. Oh, I wanted to mention, because I noticed at least 2 people who, a lot of people, their sleep is better with these healings. But, occasionally it doesn't fix people's sleep issues, or people have just new sleep issues that arise. And it's always good to hear about them in the survey, a post-healing survey. And, but I noticed 2 different people mentioned that I think it was like they were sleeping and then they woke up and they either felt a lot of anxiety when they woke up, or they just, just woke up and couldn't go back to sleep. So there are many reasons why that can be, but the reason for both of those people was that they met up with somebody on the astral, them on a spirit level. They met up with the spirit of somebody else on the astral, and the conversation did not go well. And the other person threw a bunch of energy, and that they got aura damage and chakra damage. And so the shock of that woke them up. They came back to their body, but now they have aura damage and chakra damage. And so they're kind of rattled by the whole reality of having that damage, and also the reality of just having that astral argument. So then they can't go back to sleep. So just redo your 4 essentials. If you feel rattled, you can't go back to sleep. Just, again, grounding, aura repair, chakra repair, creative ring repair, because something could have gotten smashed, or many things. But you don't have to do like every little extra. Just, get your basics so that you feel whole enough to have good sleep. So just wanted to mention that. So that's a little aside about astral wax and how the 4 essentials would be good to help you fall back asleep. I also have a deep thought video about sleep that just, if you want to clear blocks from your conscious and subconscious mind, yeah, just other things that are sort of making your mind unsettled. And that could help people in their waking life too. I'll link that below, if I remember. So it'll be linked in the comment section below the healing summary. Oops, I just turned on the TV. One of our remotes was right by my notebook. So yeah, that was an aside about if you can't go back to sleep and you feel rattled, it could be that you just need to redo your 4 essentials. Thought I turned you off. These remotes are a little overly sensitive. Right. So now, I want to do something that I mentioned in the intro just momentarily. I didn't go into it, but I said it. We would be clearing resistance and stagnant energy. So I'm going to call it the knotted rope. Exercise. So basically, I said already a couple times in this live stream, flow is really, really important. You always want your energy to be flowing. You don't want anything hard and stuck and, knotted up. And there is an expression, at least in English, it's not like super common, but people kind of get it when someone says it like that. I feel like I'm all knotted up inside, or I feel like I'm tied up in knots. And so it's sort of this concept of like a rope that has a bunch of knots in it, and the knots aren't supposed to be there. And, like a muscle knot, they'll call it, if your muscle has a hard, stuck tense part. They'll call it a muscle knot, right? So that's really workable on an energy level. You can imagine knots that you have that should be instead a flowing river, but right now it's like a bunch of maybe several ropes that are all knotted together, and just like they're all these big knots, right? And so the knotted rope exercise is you just imagine what are the knots in your energy system, and you imagine, a couple, one at a time, like a really, and it could be a literal muscle knot, and you just imagine how the energy's knotted up there like a big bunch of knots in a rope, and just keep melting that junk. And there could be invasive beings stuck in there too. So you say, angels, if there are any invasive beings, in this knotted area, can you recycle them? And then it's just a bunch of stagnant, stuck knots. And then you just use so much gold light that bit by bit it turns into a flowing river instead of a bunch of knots. And you don't have to worry like which energy channels these are, because it could be a couple meridians. It could be like part of your lymph system in your body that it's supposed to flow, or it could be just the energy flow in some of your bones is not flowing properly, but you just imagine the knots. You don't have to worry about if it's in your bones or your muscles or your lymph system or your energy meridians or anything. Just see the knots and then just melt them away so that you see the river, see the flowing river instead. So that's the knotted rope exercise. Okay, so that's explaining. So now we will do the doing. And it clears resistance, and it helps you let go, obviously, and it can help you physically, also psychologically, mentally, etc. Okay, so finally doing. So you can start with like the physical areas, if you have tension, anywhere, your neck and shoulders, or in your lower back, or your hips, or the side of your hips, or somewhere. But just pick, I don't know, a bunch of, like maybe the worst one that is not too big that you could start with it, but like start with a significant, physical knotted up area. But it's still good to start with. It's not too big, right? So a physically knotted up area, imagine it like a bunch of knotty ropes, and just use gold light. And as you're working it, you can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings anywhere around here, can you recycle them? And then just use lots of gold light. You could bring up red earth energy, from the center of the earth, and soak the rope and the knots in the red earth energy. Gold light, again, red is a nice body color. And it could be that maybe now it's a rope, but it's a river, but there's like it's like a narrow river with like stuck stuff on the sides of the river. So just melt that stuff too. So it's a nice big wide flowing river. All right, and then if that didn't all clear into a nice big flowing river, just say, angels, can you help me with this? And just hand it to your angels. And then just take a couple deep breaths into all your major joints, into your muscles, your lymph system, lymphatic system. I don't know, I'm not a medical doctor, which I'm sure is quite obvious. But you do have a lymph system within your body. And flow is really important for it. Helps with your immune system, among other things. Just keep breathing in. Think of your flow. And so we did a bunch of knots that was impacting your physical body. And again, you don't really have to have like sub themes like that. You can just do the knots that would really help the most, you know. But it's fun to have sub themes too. So we can think of knots that help you to be more creative. Okay, so any knotted up energy that's blocking your creativity. So it's a bunch of knots, but it should be a flowing river, right? So are there any knots in your creativity? And just imagine that like a bunch of ropes with knots in it, and just, if there are any invasive beings in that, just say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings affecting all this? And then just use gold light and red earth energy and gold light, and just keep melting away the knots until you get a nice big wide flowing river. And then maybe you have a narrow river, but it's, you know, it's got energy blocks along the sides. So just go ahead and spend some extra time and melt away those. Again, this is representing your creativity. So you want a nice wide flowing river. All right. So first we did muscle knots affecting your body, physical body. And then we did some knots that were affecting your creativity. Focus is really nice, like mental focus. So we could imagine stagnation and blocks and tension and resistance that are affecting your focus, and just imagine them as like knotted ropes. And we want to, you know, use gold light and earth energy until it relaxes into its more healthy state of being a big flowing river. So again, these are knots that are affecting your mental focus. And two, you may have some invasive beings in there. Just say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings affecting my focus? And then just use gold light to melt the knots away. And maybe then it turns into a river, but it's not very wide because there are big, you know, stuck parts on the sides of the river. So just take extra time and melt away those stuck parts. And again, this is energy that affects your focus. Stagnant or stuck energy affecting your focus, so just melt that away until you get a nice wide flowing river. And if that didn't finish clearing, just hand it to your angels. Say, angels, can you help with that? So that was doing the knotted rope exercise to help with focus. Let's do another one to help with body systems, physical body systems, because your physical body is really important. I mean, not only just because, you know, I mean, for like a million reasons, but also purely spiritual as well. It's really useful. Like the better the flow is, the better you can be present, and it really helps you to experience life at a lot of extra levels. So, but plus you just want things to work well for as many years as possible. So we'll do another physical body bunch of knots. So just imagine stagnant or stuck energy affecting your physical body, either just the tension that you're consciously aware of, or maybe you're not aware. You know, you have some blockages in your lymph system, for example, or somewhere else, and you can melt them away with energy healing. So just imagine, I mean, I don't think you can fix all physical issues with energy healing, but you can affect a lot, so that's kind of fun. So anyway, so tension, block, stagnant energy affecting your physical body, that's good to clear right now. Just imagine it like a bunch of knots in a rope and just melt away the knots. And just say to angels, if there's any invasive beings, you know, affecting my physical body, can you please recycle them? And just use gold light. Or red earth energy is nice. Bring that up from the core of the earth. And gold light. Just melt away the knots so that eventually it turns into a nice flowing river. Nice and wide and strong. And at first it might be a narrow river. So just melt away any stuck energy around the sides of that river. Again, this is tension, stagnant energy, stuck energy affecting your physical body. That maybe you feel consciously, or you don't feel it consciously, but it's still affecting your body systems. So just go ahead and take your time, use gold light, keep breathing. You can think about letting go. You know, I can let go, I can let go. And take a few deep breaths into all your muscles and bones and joints. And let's also do, so that was knotted rope exercise. We did a couple rounds for different things. And then let's do something related to that, spine healing. Healing the bones of your physical spine. You have, you know, the vertebrae bones. I don't have a good image to pop up easily and quickly right now, but you have all the bones of your vertebrae, and then you have little discs in between the bones, in between those vertebral bones, and energy flow. I mean, you literally have like a spinal cord that goes, you know, inside all that, and nerves and stuff. But there's also just energy. You can kind of read the flow of the energy through your whole spinal column, and just find where it's stuck, even just a little, and just use gold light until it melts, because you want the energy to flow freely up and down your spine. All the way down to your sacrum, at the base of your spine. I do have a video that does a lot of spine healing, if you did want a whole video on it. All right, So that was just a little bit of spinal healing / unblocking. Because, you know, it's such a major, important area, and if you don't have enough flow, that causes that, you know, stuckness, and so you're not really letting go as much as you would otherwise. But if you have more flow, it just comes more naturally to let go of what you don't need and you're done with, you know, mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever. So now I mentioned briefly, super briefly, I didn't really say much about it in the intro, but we're going to do extra chakra work on chakras 5 and 4, and then chakras 2 and 1. I mean, because they're important for how you feel and everything, but also 5 and 4 are near the shoulders, and so it can help how your neck and shoulders feel physically. And 2 and 1 are near your hips and so it can, in your lower back, so it can help physically how your hips and lower back feel. So that's nice. It's a win-win. So it helps you spiritually, but also it helps your body potentially feel better. So chakras 6 through 1 are oriented this way, like round opening in the front and the back. So 5 and 4, let's do those first. So 5th chakra, 4th chakra, you could just imagine them out in front of you. And let's separate them. So like astral 5th, astral, like physical, astral, physical, astral. So 5, 5, 4, 4. And I don't care which side you put astral and which side you put physical on. But I'm going to be, and if this is too much for you, just don't do it that way. You know, you could even put your hand right here, you know, and send gold light into your 4th and send gold light into your 5th. And if you're reasonably present, then the astral is already inside the physical, so you're doing it for both at once this way, you know. But anyway, I'm going to do it this way with copies out in front, and I'm going to think of the quarters like if you look at the chakra head on, like the round opening of the chakra, right? So you could think of it as quarters, right? So the, you know, divided up in quarters, just to like make sure that every little part has good flow. Because sometimes, you know, if you're not thinking about it in that precise way, you're just like, oh, do I have flow here? Yeah, I feel flow, that's fine. You know, but it turns out that you have flow, but it's all on one side because the other side is totally blocked, you know. So if you think about the quarters and just quickly, intuitively check, do you have flow in all the 4 quarters? You know, top left, top right, top left, top bottom left, bottom right, you know, and just check. You know, for me, it's a quick way to do it at an extra depth of precision. But anyway, so what I'm gonna do. So first I'm gonna do physical 5th, physical 4th. I have a chakra handout if you need to, if you like seeing it in writing, what each chakra does, like the abilities in the different chakras. You can just email me and ask for the free 2-page chakra handout. Here I go with my air quotes. Excuse me. So again, I'm just unblocking, I'm healing and unblocking extra the physical 5th chakra and the physical 4th chakra. And I have copies out in front of me. So open cylinder, like this, you know, 5 and then 4. 5 helps with inner voice, how you talk to yourself, you know, whether it's positively or negatively. Helps with being able to hear your angels, either consciously or subconsciously. Helps with not having to clear your throat all the time like I'm doing right now. And astral 5th and 4th chakras. Meaning you have an astral body, which is you as a spirit, and your astral body, the part of you as a spirit that can come into your body physically, looks like a body, but it's just energy. It's called your astral body. So 5th and 4th chakras of your astral body. Just imagine them and heal them up with gold light from your hands. And definitely don't forget the backs of the chakras, 5th and 4th. So you can imagine the chakra with equal sized round openings. I used to say bigger round opening in the front than the back, but I don't think that's actually helpful. I think it's good to open up the back round opening enough, let it relax so it's of equal size, so that it can release as well as possible. So just melt any blocked energy around the back of astral 5th and astral 4th chakras. And again, check all 4 quarters. And it could be that, you know, you get sleepy as you're trying to do this work. So you could actually diagram out, you know, like the shape of the chakra and, you know, or just write out what you're doing. Because then if you fall asleep, then you'll see what you were doing when you fell asleep, when you wake back up, and you can start again. So astral, right now I'm doing the astral body, 4th chakra, especially in the back. And just, you know, chill out, give yourself a break. You know, if it's not clearing as fast as you think it should, just keep in mind that, you know, this could be blocked from like several lifetimes, you know, so don't get so discouraged about that it takes more than 20 seconds to clear. You want your intention to be that, you know, you want to be aware of and clear what's healthy and gentle to clear right now. And sometimes you have like just hard chunks that don't melt properly. So you just lift those out, give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. So any hard chunks in your astral body, 4th chakra, or around it, just lift those out. Give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. Any hard chunks in or around your astral body, 4th chakra, lift those out. Angels, here you go. And your astral 5th chakra, communications, inner voice, inner peace. Any hard chunks in or around your astral body, 5th chakra, lift those out. Give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. Any hard chunks that aren't melting properly in or around your astral body, 5th chakra, just wrap them up in gold light, lift them out. Angels, here you go. Of course, if you notice cords, melt them. There's no good reason for people to cord these chakras. So astral body 5th chakra, astral body 4th chakra, physical 5th, physical 4th. And you can imagine them fitting in to each other. So astral 5th fits into physical 5th, astral 4th fits into physical 4th. Check the flow in the 4 quarters of each of those chakras. Notice how your shoulders feel, how do your arms feel, your fingers, your wrists. Okay, so that was physical and astral 5th and 4th. So now we'll do the same thing with 2nd and 1st chakras. So 2nd chakra is below your belly button, maybe an inch, inch and a half, depends on how tall you are. And 1st chakra is at the base of the spine. And a nice color for the 1st chakra is red. Nice color for the 2nd chakra is orange. Nice meaning ideal. And they're oriented this way, round opening in the front, round opening in the back. So you can imagine them separately if that doesn't blow your mind too much. So 2nd chakra, 1st chakra, 2nd chakra, 1st chakra. So physical on one side, astral on the other side, and just use gold light. You don't have to work them at the same pace that I'm doing it. You can just go for it. I'm going to do physical chakras first, 2nd and 1st chakra. I'm just melting like stuck energy around the round openings of physical 2nd and physical 1st chakras. Someone mentioned in their survey that they got so mad at 3 a.m. that they threw a chair. So that would be 2nd chakra blocks, most likely causing you to have that level of frustration. So physical 2nd, probably physical 2nd more than astral 2nd. So again, this would be how you unblock it. You imagine your physical 2nd, your physical 1st, and you use gold light and melt away the blocks. Melt away any blocks that make you want to throw furniture, which is usually not in your best interest. But you have free will, don't let me judge. Might be cheaper to punch a pillow or something, though. If you break a chair, then what are you going to sit on? But anyway, so physical second, physical first. Melt away the blocks. Blocks when you're physical first can make you feel anxious, jumpy, nervous, overly cautious. So anyway, I'm just checking quarter by quarter for the flow in physical second chakra. Sometimes blocks go in both chakras. Yeah, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna get a dry erase board so I can draw energy blocks. I can't find the dry erase board that I had in mind that was nice and blank, but this one will do. This one will be good enough. So, so first chakra, second chakra, first chakra red, second chakra orange, right? So you could have blocks in you can have blocks that are sort of related to 2 chakras or even 3 chakras. So sometimes if you notice blocks, you can just quickly check the chakras around it, the major chakras around it. Like you could have blocks, like say, like this could all be blocked right here. So there could be just junk binding up, say, the left side or the right side of both the chakras together, or like, 4, 5, and 6 together or something. So particularly if it's not clearing and you're trying to clear just say the second chakra block and that's all you're thinking of, check around it to see if it's linked to a bunch of chakras. You could have some invasive beings that link it up or help to link it up, or invasive people that help to link it up, but it could just be blocked energy too. So you just ask the angels to recycle any beings in the area and then melt away with gold light the energy blocks. So I was noticing a little bit of that, so that's why I wanted to diagram it for you. So again, physical second, physical first. Maybe you have some blocks that go on 3, 2, 1 even. Say in the back of 3, 2, and 1. So you can just check for that and melt that with gold light. You can say, angels, if there's any invasive beings in these areas that I'm working, can you please recycle them? So physical second, physical first. Check for any energy blocks that are kind of going through multiple chakras at once. Angels, if there are any beings around here, can you recycle them? And then just imagine those multi-chakra energy blocks and then just melt them away. They could be like hard devices too, and those sometimes they take longer to melt, sometimes not. You just use so much gold light and they melt. But if there's anything hard that's not melting away quick enough for you, just ease it out and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. So I'm working second, physical first. Ease out the hard junk. Angels, here you go. And again, your intention is to do only what's healthy and gentle to do right now, which still could be a lot. But it's, just a heads up on that. So physical second, physical first, chakras. All right, and then same thing for astral second and astral first chakra. So astral second, astral first. Check for blocks that are affecting both of those chakras at once. You know, angels, if there are any beings in the way, can you recycle them? Use cold light. Break all that junk up, melt it away. Astral second, astral first. If you're getting sleepy, just wiggle your toes, take a break, check your grounding. Make sure your grounding's unblocked. And then go back to your work once you're feeling more clear-headed. Astral second, astral first. Check the quarters. Check for energy that's affecting both those chakras. You can freeze it up, give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Any stuck energy affecting both astral second and astral first, just freeze it up, give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Checking the flow quarter by quarter, astral second, astral first. All right, and filaments, chakra filaments, help the flow between astral and physical. So there's a second chakra filament, which is a cord basically, or a nice tube with a flowing river in it, between your physical second and astral second. So you could unblock that while you're at it. And then same thing with first chakras. There's a first chakra filament that helps the flow between them. Unblock that. Yeah, then you can imagine them inside each other. Astral second fitting into astral first. Astral. No! Astral chakras fitting into physical chakras, whatever. Healing and talking at the same time is not always so easy for me. And we didn't do the filaments of 5 and 4. So we could backtrack and do that just for a sec. Unblock those. All right, cool. So that was a lot. That was, so if you weren't able to do it all yourself, on yourself, and you just feel like, oh no, I couldn't do it all, I'm not good enough. Don't feel not good enough. Because I've been doing this a long time, and you know, but that was a big deal, what we just said. So good job. Even if you did a little bit of it, good job. All right, good. Oh, right. I'll close up my markers so they don't dry out. little show and tell. Where do I put it? Okay, let's see. I'm going to quickly do gold bottle brush for the legs. Which we also did 2 days ago. So imagine a copy of your hips and your legs out in front of you, your feet, and just make a nice bendy gold bottle brush that fits in one side of your hip and your leg and all the way down through your foot, and just clean out all the blocked energy with the gold bottle brush. And lift it out, give it to your angels, have all that junk stick to the brush so your angels take it. And then make a new gold bottle brush again for that same side. and give it to your angels, and do the other side. Gold bottle brush, have it fit in your other side of your hip and your other leg and your foot, and use it to clean out all the junk in there, any blocks, anything that's not you that you're ready to get rid of, and just lift it out on the brush. Angels, here you go. It's kind of like flossing, but probably quicker to do though than flossing is. So again, you can do 2 gold bottle brushes at the same time, one on one side, one on the other side. So it's extra quick. Give the brushes to your angels, more gold bottle brushes in your hips and your legs and your feet. Give that chunk to your angels. And then also your auras around your hips and legs and feet, unblock those auras, the part of the auras that are immediately around your hips and your legs and your feet. Just use gold light. Especially in front of your tummy area. Melt away the blocks in front of your tummy. All right, so just take a couple breaths, breathe into your whole body, and just see how that affects things. You know, the work that you did on your astral and physical 5th, 4th, 2nd, and 1st chakras. Just beware your hips and your feet and your fingers. We didn't do those aura layers of those auras, like 5, 4, and 2, and 1. I guess we could do that real quickly. So aura layers 5 and 4. Just clean them out with gold light. And then aura layers 2 and 1. Clean those out extra with gold light. And then we'll do all aura layers, all parts of all your auras. Just an extra comb through with gold light. Melt away the junk with gold light, and all down your groundings, your 2 astral and physical groundings. Just melt away the blocks with gold light. So you have really good flow and releasing all the way down to the core of the earth. All right, good, good, good. So that was gold bottle brush for your legs and hips. And then we did a little aura unblocking. First, just around hips and legs and feet, but then all over. Alrighty. I don't think we need to do good karma windows again. So let's do spiritual path stuff, kind of like what we did 2 days ago, but a little extra because we'll, with our intention, clear more denial and then clear more and then do it again. And so anyway, your spiritual path is the, just for you. Your spiritual path is like a road that you're on and you're traveling in this lifetime. It represents what you're meant to learn and experience in this life. But it can be crappier than it needs to be, you know. You can get extra blocked up with other people's energy or with your own baggage that can sort of project onto your path and make obstacles that are totally unnecessary and overly dramatic and gross. So we don't need that, right? I mean, there are some challenges that are good for your learning, but then there's a lot of extra just BS that doesn't need to be there. So we can clear that off. So just imagine your spiritual path is just for you, like a road, and just imagine are you on your spiritual path, or are you lost on some side road? If you're lost on a side road, say, angels, please put me back on my spiritual path. All right, so then you're on your spiritual path. Okay, so are you looking forward on your spiritual path? Are you in the center of your spiritual path looking forward? Because you could be just like on a bench by the side, like totally just rocking yourself, freaked out. You know? So if that's the case, give yourself a little healing with gold light until you're on your path looking forward. Keep healing yourself until you're looking forward. And then, so burdens and limits, that's, releasing, letting go, releasing burdens and limits from yourself and others. That's a big part of this theme, right, for this whole month of healings. So burdens and limits, they can look like things you're trying to push forward on your path, things you're dragging forward with you from behind, on your path, or they can look like heavy, burdensome, or restrictive things you're wearing, like chains, or weird heavy clothing, or weird backpacks that are heavy or something. So just imagine you on your path, and imagine some burdens and limits that are really good for you to get rid of right now. And they can be any of those examples I gave, and then just melt them away with gold light. So as I said, imagine you on your spiritual path, any burdens or limits that you're ready to get rid of, just imagine them near you or around you. You're dragging them forward or pushing them forward, or you're wearing them, something like that. And just lift out those burdens and limits. Give to your angels. Angels, here you go. Imagine some more burdens and limits, and just that are healthy and gentle to get rid of right now, and just melt them away. And again, I said that we're going to be clearing denial, right? So you don't have to really work hard at that. Just sort of, take a deep breath and allow yourself to realize things that you were previously in denial about. As you're looking at yourself on your path, just, say, okay, I'm going to release denial, or just whatever, just, ease out of it, and just be aware of more burdens and limits that are really good to get rid of right now, but you didn't see them before. You didn't realize them before, or imagine them before. And then be aware of those, and just run gold light through them and melt them away. Or you can lift them out and give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. So again, center yourself, breathe, clear your denial, let your denial go, unhealthy denial, let it go. And just be aware of yourself on your path, and any burdens and limits that are healthy and gentle to get rid of right now, especially ones that you were previously in denial about. And just go ahead and lift those out and give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. And take a couple of deep breaths into your body. Breathe into your fingertips, breathe into your toes, into your hips, your sacrum, your shoulders. And just a general unblocking of your entire path as well. Gold light. Again, just melt away any unnecessary dramas that don't help you in any way. Just melt them off of your path with gold light. Some of those can be gifts from family. I was going to use air quotes again, but I won't. so tempting today for some reason. So, but sometimes family members dump things on your path. So just be aware of that and just melt those things away, because it doesn't belong on your path. Stuff from your family does not belong on your path. They may think it belongs on your path, but you don't have to keep it there. You can hand it to your angels if you're worried about, oh, should I really get rid of this? Just all the junk from your family that's on your path. Angels, here you go. Can you help me with this? All right, good job. So that was unblocking your spiritual path, giving yourself a little healing there as you're on your path, and clearing denial, so you can be more and more aware of burdens and limits that are good to get rid of, and melting those off of you as you imagine yourself on your path. And you can imagine the before and after, like how fast were you moving before on your path, and how fast forward are you moving now on your path. And sometimes too, it's not only the rate of progress that you're making, it's, are you enjoying the journey? How is the journey forward more pleasant for you now on your path than it was? All right, good job. Woo, woo, woo. Comfort moments. That's probably one of the last things we will be doing in this healing today. We did that 2 days ago quite a bit. So this will be the super condensed version of it. Comfort moments are moments that you get stuck in the past sometimes. They're positive moments, and you're trying to comfort yourself, and so you kind of dive into them with your energy. But the problem is you're in the middle of a lifetime, and so you have a physical body, and if you leave your physical body to any extent, to any significant extent, it can be very destabilizing and mess with your boundaries and mess with everything. So it's not good to do that. So if you wash yourself out of these comfort moments, then you can be comforted by them here and now, like a pleasant music that comes to you of, all these beautiful times that you've had in this life and past lives, but you're here, and so you're as strong as possible, and you feel more comforted, more stable. It's a good thing. So you can just imagine a bunch of comfort moments from the past that you've been a little stuck in, and they could be from this life or past lives. Imagine them like little bundles of blankets or balls of energy, whatever. So they're just past comfort moments, and just wash them with gold light, and that will help you to get unstuck from them, so that you can come into the present and be healthy here and now, healthier. Doesn't mean you can't think of these moments, but stay here when you think of them. Be present. So that way you get the most benefit. And, somebody in their survey, they said, well, they don't have any comfort moments with their parents from their childhood, because, they had abusive parents. And that could be true, but it could also be true that subconsciously you do have some comfort moments, because, as a little kid, as an infant, at some times you probably were comforted, like they weren't abusive like every second of every day probably. So there was probably something that, was somewhat pleasant at some point. And so you could be extra hanging on to those because they're not that many, or whatever. So just let the subconscious comfort moments, come forward, and then just wash them out with lots of gold light. And those comfort moments can be from this life or past lives as well. So just wash them out with gold light. And what that allows to happen is then that you're no longer stuck in them. And so you can be here and now and still be comforted by all the beautiful serenity and peace and kindness and love that you have experienced in this life and past lives. And not to deny that people have abusive situations, but you know, that's why it's nice to do these things so you can still feel safe and comforted, despite things that you've been through. All right, so that was comfort moments. You can just comb through everything. Your auras, your chakras, your energy channels, your physical and astral body, and your grounding. And Debs, that might be the last thing we're doing. We'll see. So just either stack Debs out in front of you, deeply repressed energy blocks, or Stebs. What do I call them? Triggered energy blocks. Stebs, yeah. Stubborn triggered energy blocks. That are stuck out in front of you. A bunch of energy blocks that you want to clear that are making you feel uncomfortable. They could be making it harder for you to handle a challenging situation in your life. Say if you have an ailing loved one or something, or you know, some financial issue or work issue or whatever, blah blah blah, employment issue, just whatever energy blocks get triggered by the real issues in your real life right now, and on a regular basis, just clear them. Just melt them with gold light. You can say, angels, help me do this. And melt them away. Just melt the cords going into them and melt them with gold light. You could use a safe bomb exploding chamber and shove them in there and then blow them up with a remote control if you want. But I'm just gonna stack them out in front. So any energy blocks that get triggered by the real situations in your life, and just melt them away. Just say, angels, help me do this. Melt them away. All right, and then as we wrap up, just redo your grounding and say, angels, can you give me healing, please? All right, good job. We did it. Woo, woo, woo. You're amazing. That's a healing. All right, so I will do a little chit chat for maybe just 20 minutes. We'll see. So you could comment if you want through live chat right now how the healing was for you. If you want, and you can give context if it's not obvious from your name, whether or not you healed yourself and I healed you, or just you healed yourself. I'm going to catch up on comments. Someone says hello from Lake Worth Beach. Lake Worth Beach, which I'm assuming is in Florida because you said before you were in Florida. Which is in the US, of course. So this is, hi Janet, can you check if all the razors are out of my chakras and still coughing? Yeah, you did get the razors out. Great job. The coughing, well, I wonder, I had this with another client recently too. Is your coughing like a sore throat coughing, or is it just like a scratchy throat that's not sore? Because if it's a scratchy throat that's not sore, in traditional Chinese medicine, and again, take this with a grain of salt because I am not very trained. I'm like this much trained in traditional Chinese medicine. But it could be wind cold trapped in your throat, which means, you can get that from like, maybe you were eating raw food and it's winter and that's not really great for you in the winter because you may not have enough stomach qi to digest it, so it depletes you, so it has cold in your body, or you were just around some cold, outside, the wind, you weren't wearing a scarf or something or whatever. So wind cold trapped in your throat can cause that scratchy cough that's persistent and weird. And so anyway, if you have that, when you have it, only, warm liquids, no cold stuff, no room temperature stuff even. And you can also, if you have one of those microwavable neck wraps, that's really nice. Or, if you have access to a clothing dryer, you can put your scarf, as long as your scarf doesn't shrink, put it in the dryer, get it warm, wrap up your neck in that, just so you get the cold out of your neck. But anyway, you have some things stabbed in there in the front that I don't know why they didn't clear. You got a giant healing just now. But anyway. So, astral fifth is fine. Physical fifth is the one with these little freaking stabby things. More on your right side than left. Yeah, it looks better now. But yeah, watch out for cold. Like maybe I wear a scarf a lot. I don't wear a scarf right now, but I have one that I wear in the house a lot. Even I wear it outside. Outside I wear two scarves actually, but inside I have a scarf. I should get it so you can see it. I'll be right back. It's not like this is like a magical scarf or anything. It's just a scarf, but it keeps me from getting a draft on my neck in the winter. Anyway, hope that helps. Someone says, then you continue. Something about this not healing is triggering me, but I don't know why. It's making me irritable. How odd. Yeah, but you get that with healings. Like, that's not the first time you get triggered about a healing. Yeah, it's just, I don't think it's beings. I think, you just, I think you're just not comfortable with clearing blocked energy all the time, It's like you just, like, you want to just pretend it's not there, and the whole thing about healing is you're aware of something that's there and you turn towards it and you clear it, but a lot of people, it's like the way of their life is just to turn away from what's blocked and be like, ma, I'm happy, nothing's blocked, So the idea of turning towards it and clearing it, that's a thing for you. Still, it's not the most natural experience for you. But that's what this kind of thing is. The scarf doesn't look good with the plaid. All right. Someone says, well, so I hope that helps. Someone says, thanks for the healing. My parents often argue and trigger each other intensely. Yeah, you mentioned that in your survey. Would you please share your insights on what's happening energetically and its effects on my siblings? Well, I mean, that's a lot to read all that, like, okay, they're arguing and how does it affect your adult siblings? I mean, they tend to court each other's energy blocks, which, is a great way to really piss somebody off, like, because when you're corded to their energy blocks, then your energy's wrapped around what they're stuck on, so they feel your energy. And so then it gives them the impression that you're what's wrong with their whole life, when you're not. You're just courting their energy blocks. You're kind of butting in where you don't belong and you're courting their energy blocks. And so, but anyway, that's what they do with each other. So they tend to be overly, screwing with each other. So they could take astral classes on boundaries with each other, because it's essentially a boundaries issue. How does it affect your siblings? Yeah, it's sort of like an emotional, like, dark cloud that they get sometimes in their space, just thinking like mom and dad are fighting. It bums them out a little bit. But essentially, it's you can clear it out. You know, it's not your journey to make everyone around you happy. You know, that's just impossible. You know, but that's sort of a big lesson for people to learn. You know, a lot of times, you know, you feel like, oh, well, I care about that person. I want them to be really happy. You know, and so then you kind of pout if they're sad. You know, or whatever. But anyway, so your siblings, you could remind them that they can take classes with their angels about, you know, so that it doesn't weigh them down what their parents are. I mean, you know, the parents married each other, and you know, it's not anything the kids did, you know. So they could get angel help on realizing that it's not their fault. It's not their fault. So this is, that is so interesting that blocks can span multiple chakras. I didn't know that. Yes. Thanks to my handy diagram, now you know. Second chakra, first chakra, energy block, blocking them both up. It's not just, it can be a whole bunch of blocks at once. And it's just, yeah. Sometimes if somebody like leans over to one side a lot, they have those kind of blocks that, you know, lock up a whole bunch of chakras at once. But you don't have to lean to have that kind of thing going on. Someone says, thank you, Janet, for the healing. Loved the first and second chakra healing. I feel a lot less resistant to letting things go. Yay. How are Emily, Kathy, and Ben doing with the healings? Yeah, okay. So you're mentioning all your people. I did check with them briefly at a couple times in the healings, in this today's healing. Ben, your coworker, he at the moment wasn't moving forward on his path. He was just standing there, and I was like, do you have a question? And he's like, why do I have all these blocks from past lives that I haven't cleared? And I said, well, everybody does. You know, and he's like, oh. Like, it was just such a troubling concept to him. Like, you mean I didn't finish my work in a past life? And I was like, well, yeah, but that's, you know, everyone has leftover stuff. And, you know, you can still clear it. It's not too late. And so he was relieved. He just thought like somehow he had messed up or something by having these energy blocks that happened in a past life, but they're still around. But no, like everybody does. So he thinks it's cool now. He realizes it's not like a personal failure. It is interesting. So he seems to like it. And your friend too, she's her question was, are my angels always with me? And I said yes, and she likes that idea. She didn't really think about that. Most people, they don't realize that. They think like angels are only with you like if somebody's dying or something's really dangerous, you know, but it's not true. Like even on a regular day, you have definitely your spirit guide around you and probably at least one of your angels around you at any given time. So she likes that. But yeah, they all did fine. And I'm glad you liked the chakra healing. Someone says, hello from Serbia. Hello to you. Thank you, Janet, for the healing. You're welcome. Yeah, technically I was healing the people that purchased it 2 months ago, but the walkthrough is for everybody. So I'm glad you enjoyed the walkthrough. And if you did want to purchase a healing, you can email me to figure out how, but it's also on my website, janetwrightreadings.com. But my email address is janet@janetwrightreadings.com. But I'm glad that you are watching. I do 5 of these live streams every month. Someone says, and that's all listed on my website, janetwrightreadings.com. So it says, hey Janet, thank you for healing me. You are welcome. I enjoyed clearing the knots. Yes, melting away the knots. Especially the ones on my upper back. Oh, nice. I feel some bruising now, but we'll definitely clear it. How did I do yesterday? Felt like a long day. Yesterday, I think you got some wax in the front, and so it didn't damage chakras, but like your chakras were like sort of out of alignment after that. Yeah, you got some energy thrown at you in the front, so you had some aura damage and some chakras popped out of alignment. So that's why everything seemed harder than it should have. So aura repair, but you got aura repair now, so hopefully everything's okay. Yeah, everything seems fine now. So I'm glad you did fine today. Someone says, hi Janet, you healed me and I healed along for some of it. Thank you. I feel that my recent surgery was a big positive energy shift for me. Yes. Any advice on how to further heal and integrate this shift? There's a video I have. If you search Janet Wright positive change rain, it should come up. Maybe Janet Wright demo positive change rain. Rain like rain from the sky. Janet Wright demo positive change rain. But it just essentially is just a lot of unblocking in the upper part of the aura and creative rings and seventh chakra, so that your new energy that you created on the astral can come in more rapidly and efficiently and gently. Also, maybe arm healing would be nice. A little bit extra unblocking at the elbows and the wrists and the forearms and the fingers. Both arms. That could be nice too. So I hope that helps. Somebody says their name and they say, I am considering switching careers and training to be a lactation consultant, helping people with breastfeeding. What should my angels say about this idea? They're smiling. They give me a thumbs up. Thank you for the healing. I feel happy and relaxed. Oh, that's nice. They say too that, you could, I have that video, you don't have to use a video for it really, but fifth chakra healing. If you search Janet Wright, fifth chakra, fifth layer healing. Outside, I'm healing both the fifth layer and the fifth chakra in that video, and the telepathic mesh out in the front of the fifth layer. So that could be nice. You don't have to do the video, you could just freestyle it, but more fifth chakra, fifth layer, and telepathic mesh healing. Which helps you hear your angels even better, but I mean, not that that was a mishearing at all, but just to do more of it, to keep going further with being able to hear your angels more clearly. And that helps with peace of mind too. And just now and then check for cords from your ex in your creative rings too. Just, he's getting a little creative. Since all the normal ways that he used to cord you are not working so well, because you're getting smarter. Hope that helps. Someone says, and I'm glad the healing helped, that's cool. Someone says, thank you so much, Janet. I feel a little spacey but mellow. I was at my parents' house around Christmas and they have a serious hoarding situation going on. What's going on there? Hoarding is always really interesting. And I do have a lot, and do I have a lot of denial? Thank you. Well, yeah, I think everyone has a lot of denial that they could clear. That is, it's sort of no longer needed. The more present you get, the less denial you need. So if you think about how present you've gotten in the last few years with all the work you've been doing with this stuff, You know, it's like, yeah. So yeah, there's totally more you could do as far as clearing more denial so that you have more self-awareness and you're able to clear more both consciously and subconsciously. So yeah, it'd be a nice thing to keep working. Hoarding, you know, it's interesting. I mean, part of hoarding is just, you know, storing life experiences in the object rather than doing uploads to your Akashic records so that your spiritual experiences are stored properly that you don't need right now in your, you know, in like your spiritual library with your angels. But I think with them, it's because they get regular healings. It's no longer that. I mean, they're pretty up to date on their uploads. I think for them, it's a lot of I think they've had past lives where they didn't have possessions, many to speak of. I mean, you can have lives where you were very nomadic, like maybe and not nomadic in like a fun choice way, but like, you know, your village got burned and you had to flee in the middle of the night and you lost all your precious possessions, that kind of nomadic, you know? So I think they've had a couple of those lives where they lost their possessions through traumatic situations. And so for them now, possessions is sort of having these possessions is a symbol for them of success and a symbol of safety, that they can keep their possessions, you know. So you could remind them that they could take angel classes, you know, about I mean, I don't think they would take very kindly to you calling them hoarders, even telepathically. So, I think telepathically they're okay with saying that, okay, well, you have baggage around keeping physical objects, keeping and organizing physical objects. Like that's more less insulting and threatening to them. You know, they can be like, oh yeah, I want to be able to organize my objects, you know, or something. You know. And so you can say, well, your angels can help you to organize your objects, you know, so then they can start working on their angels with their about their possessions. So hope that helps. Hi Janet, I've been so busy with life and the holidays, I haven't checked in on a live stream in a while. Well, hello. Could I ask how I'm looking as far as being present daily and what I need to work on more? Well, what I just mentioned to the other person about denial and clearing denial, that's nice to do. I think that could be maybe one of the bigger ways to speed your growth and healing and speed like feeling better, even better than you do now, faster, you know, is to just keep clearing unhealthy denial. Like you could think of it that way. Because there's some denial that's useful because you don't want to be aware of everything that's wrong with your life all at once, your every, you know, imbalance that you have all at once, you know, but there's unhealthy denial that just keeps you from clearing or healing in ways that would be really fabulous for you right now, you know. So unhealthy denial, so you could that could be a nice thing for you to work on more. But overall, I mean, you've been moving forward. You seem to have like kind of a more confidence and less sort of that overthinking fear kind of thing. You are letting your angels help you and guide you. So yeah, maybe like a little extra self-love, like heart chakra self-love type stuff too. So give to yourself, you know, maybe gold to your fourth chakra more, and then just, you know, wash out denial with gold light. You wash out unhealthy denial with gold light from wherever. But yeah, you look like you're doing okay. And you got the healing and you received it, you know, well and everything. So Hope it helps. Someone says, thank you for the healing. And you're mentioning your initials. Yes. Where would you recommend to put the focus while releasing? Some blocks at the back don't want to be looked at, but still want my attention. It's confusing. I think if you personify energy blocks like that and you say these blocks don't want to be looked at, I mean, unless it's just a translation issue, you know, and, you know, because you speak many languages more than I do, and, you know, so that's just sort of a language thing. But if you feel like something in the back doesn't want to be looked at, that probably sounds like it's just some invasive beings that you're confused about and you think they're energy blocks, because energy blocks don't have sentience like that. So it's not like energy blocks don't want to be looked at, but they want attention. Like, that's a being, you know, like it's not an energy block is just like, you know, this marker, you know, it just sits there. It doesn't have a desire. It doesn't have a, you know, it doesn't not want to be looked at. It doesn't want to be looked at. It doesn't want, you know, it's just something that is solid. And it's there, you know. So if there's more to it than that, that's an invasive being, you know, around it or behind it or sitting on it. Because the energy blocks they end up kind of being like little couches that invasive beings or invasive people can kind of sit around in, you know. So, you know, sometimes you might have some stagnant energy and then it becomes like a couch for your mom to sit back there and talk to you about her life, blah, 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 you know. And so what you do is you wash out your mom or whatever, and if there are any invasive beings in the area, just say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in this area? And then get rid of the couch, which is just some stuck energy from your past, and you can blow it up, you can hand it to your angels, you know, so that way there's no couch, no more mom there, and no more invasive beings there. So, hope that helps. But yeah, energy blocks don't have desires. And if you just feel resistant to doing the work, either just take a break and don't do it for a while, or just try to make it more fun. You know, like use gold sparkles and gold fire, gold water, you know, like just have fun with it. You know, wiggle your butt more as you work. Keep you present. Hope that helps. Someone says, thank you for the healing. Janet, do my angels have any advice about my boyfriend and I having different political views? I have a hard time knowing if I'm avoiding it or if it's extra baggage on my path. Well, I mean, I think what I'm hearing them say, and, you know, I could be wrong, so you can pray for clarity, you know, ask your angels to help you with clarity in the next couple of days. But it sounds like they're talking about the difference between an entree man and an appetizer man. And an appetizer man, you know, someone that's helping, you know, dating them is helping you to learn and grow and evolve, but maybe it's not like a long-term compatibility, but you're still meant to be there right now and enjoy and learn. That like a long-term, you know, an entree man, you know, the one that you would be with very, very, very long-term potentially, or you could be with and have compatibility with for long-term, that the range of difference in your political views ideally would be smaller. But if it's an appetizer person, the range in your political views doesn't have to be so narrow if it's just an appetizer person. So there's that. There's the question of, well, is he an appetizer person or an entree person? And there's also like, is there more but that's kind of triggering to think of sometimes for people, you know, is this person temporary or not? You know, but then you can also think, well, okay, is there more for me to learn with this person, you know, that I'm meant to learn with this person, like check boxes, you know, and if there are more check boxes, then, you know, you don't have to break up with the person. You know, there's more that you should be learning. So I guess I mean, the whole, am I avoiding it, or if it's baggage on my path? I mean, I think you're clearing his energy off your path, so I don't think he's in your way, even before the Friday healing. Well, he does get sometimes on your path, so yeah, working on that is nice to do, clear him off your path. But, you know, anybody could get on your path, so it's not like, you know, he's an evil person for dumping stuff on your path. But, you know, we did, he's off now because we cleared, you know, your path 2 different times in this set so far. So, I mean, it's not like your angels need you to change his political views. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I think long term they would like you to think about someone who shares your underlying values of compassion and kindness and empathy and generosity. I mean, they don't have to be like lockstep with you in that stuff, but in the same neighborhood. But, you know, that doesn't have to be today, you know, who you're with. So I hope that helps. It's kind of complicated. If you have more questions, you could post under a video later. But, you know, maybe just work on clarity for a little bit first with your angels. Someone says, thank you for an awesome healing. I'm trying to help hubby with a challenging situation about one of his creations, yes, which you mentioned in your survey, but I have a hard time reading the situation. I read him and a few other parties, but that's all I get. He's overwhelmed and gets stuck at this is not fair mode. Yeah. Yeah, when he's stuck like that and sort of bitching about it, or fuming about it, he's stuck, his grounding gets blocked, and so his grounding gets blocked, and then he gets stuck in some 4th layer energy blocks in the front. And you know, when people are kind of venting and fuming, a lot of times, if it seems like it just goes on forever, that's what it is. Their grounding got blocked, and they're, you know, they're stuck in some energy blocks, maybe in their 2nd layer in the front or their 4th layer in the front. So you could just remind his spirit about grounding, you know, hey, you can ask your angels to help with grounding if you want, you know. But yeah, it's like, he is moving forward, but it'll be like, he'll move forward and then he'll get stuck and fume for a while. And then he'll move forward and then he'll get stuck and fume for a while. And then he'll move forward and get stuck and fume for a while. But the thing is, that's progress for him, you know, like, it could be worse. He could have just been stuck continuously. So he's still progressing, you know. I know that sounds funny, but he's just so vocal when he gets stuck. Like, not everyone's that vocal when they're stuck. So it's like you're aware of every minute of every day that he's stuck, because lately, you know, there's this verbal confirmation that he's stuck. So I hope that helps. Just remind him. And you could do, like, you know, just line up the biggest things that he's stuck on, and actually just make sure you're not courting those things. You know, like, because sometimes, especially if someone keeps talking about how they're stuck, people tend to court the blocks, the energy blocks of that person that's talking. So just melt away your cords from those energy blocks that he's stuck on. And actually that should probably it brings like this fresh air all of a sudden around those energy blocks, and they're a lot more likely to clear the blocks by you getting out of them. So you can just imagine, okay, well, these are the 10 blocks that are making him go blah, 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 blah for like an hour now, you know, and just make sure, don't touch the blocks, but melt your cords going into the blocks that are, you know, when they're in your space, just melt them as they leave your space going towards his blocks, just melt them away. And then he'll probably melt like at least half the blocks just right then. And just keep checking and keep doing that. So I hope that helps. Someone says, thanks, Janet. Love the knots exercise. Yeah, the knotted rope exercise. I'm glad. Thanks for the feedback. Someone says, any angel advice about my regular institutional job? Thank you so much. They say it's like there's this new phase that you're going into with it. So it's like there's new stuff that you can learn with it, but you haven't quite switched gears. Like it's like you have the old thinking. So try to think of new things that you can learn at that job and new ways you can evolve at that job. It's like you've changed a lot, and so it's like you're kind of bored because it's like you've learned all sorts of things that you were going to learn at that job, but your angels think there's a whole bunch of new things that you could still learn at that same job. So just, I guess, have your angels help you to switch gears, so it's sort of like 2.0 version of that job, so you're learning new things as a spirit doing the same job. So if that helps. Someone says, hi, yeah, I don't have a sore throat at all. Okay, yeah. It's a deep chesty cough with phlegm. Yeah, because you were having dairy. I'm in a damp, cold climate. It could be cold wind. Yeah. So obviously no more dairy until you get rid of all that phlegm, at least. I mean, butter, I think is okay. Butter's fine for me. Well, I don't know that it never blocks me out, but not significantly, let's say. Butter is like my personal religion. But anyway, deep chesty cough with phlegm. There are herbs, I don't know what they are, but there are herbs that will help get that phlegm up. But even Western medicine, actually, they do have expectorate, cough medicine with expectorate. And that's important to get that phlegm out of there. If you, even the Western medicine with the expectorate in it, it'll help you cough up the phlegm because it's important to get that out of there so it doesn't stay there. So no more dairy if you are having any, no more raw food if you are having any, no more room temperature or cold liquids if you are having any. Yeah, definite warmth and lack of draft around your neck. But then also, yeah, consider, you can ask your angels for clarity on it, but you could consider an expectorate, Western cough medicine type, liquid that they sell. But yeah, with expectorate, that's the key to help you cough up all that disgusting stuff. The phlegm. Like I said, there are herbs that are expectorate herbs, but I don't know any by heart. You could Google it maybe if you want to go more an herbal route. But that Western expectorate stuff is legitimate. Someone says, great healing. Thank you so much. I followed along and healed myself. That's wonderful. I related to the razors too. See, you have somebody throwing razors at you. Hard objects that are shaped like razors. Well, I'm glad you got them. Good for you. I'm glad you cleared them out. Someone says, thank you for the healing. You're welcome. Someone says, hi, Janet. Just wanted to say hi. Well, thank you. Hello to you. Someone says, did my mom enjoy all the body healing? Thank you for healing her. And my brother. Someone says, also you were, I lost it. I scrolled and lost it. Also, you were not healing me this time, but I had a crazy dream last night about having way too much stuff to pack and move and remove from a place I was visiting. That's funny. Yeah. Well, you can get angel classes and angel healings even if you're not getting the physical healing from me, the actual healing from me. So, you're probably working all of it. Plus, you are getting the twin set from me, the healings later this month, and it's the same theme. But anyway, okay, so about your mom, and your brother. Did she enjoy the body healing? Mm. She most enjoyed the melting of the knots thing. She says she has too many knots in her body, in this old body. But that was her favorite part, is the melting of the knots. She says sometimes she just gets tired. She doesn't want to fix things. She doesn't want to clear things. She just wants things to be better already. Which sounds like her fourth is a little blocked. When you feel like, oh, it should already be fixed for me, then it's a little bit of a fourth block. So I mentioned that she could have her angels help her with that, and she's like, okay. But yeah, she did the whole healing. I mean, it's just sometimes she kind of numbs out of her body rather than clearing the stuff from her physical body. But the knot stuff really resonated with her. So with the knot exercise, she definitely cleared physical body stuff, and she's gonna do more of it. So it's cool. Your brother liked it all, he says, but he doesn't want to give details. Someone says, thanks about working on denial. For some reason, that triggers me a lot. I assume I'll feel better when I clear it. I don't know. I mean, denial is, everyone has denial. So you just remind yourself about that. You're not the only one. Someone says, hi, I feel my cousin is always in my space. I'm jealous. I've guided her to her angels and have given her energy flowers. Is there anything else I need to do to have her out of my space? Thank you. I cleared her out of my space too, of course. I think so when someone is jealous, it's kind of often it's because you're doing something they wish they could do. They wish they had the courage to do what you're doing. They wish they felt as liberated, to be as empowered and, to move forward like you're doing. And so the root of it is that they either don't feel good enough, like fourth chakra stuff, or they feel afraid, first chakra stuff. And for her, it looks like more of a fear thing. So you can remind her that her angels can help her with fear, and there are special classes that she can take to be more courageous and bold in her life and to clear the fear and the nervousness. And I think that, that specific recommendation, angels can help you with courage. Angels can help you clear fear, and they have classes so you can take them in your sleep, and it doesn't take up any energy or time, in your waking life. You don't have to think about it when you're awake. Just your angels can help you clear fear and be more courageous and bold and adventurous, because that's what she wants. And that's why she's in your space, because she's curious about how you can be so empowered and grow so fast. But it's a lack of courage that she's dealing with. So anyway, hope that helps. Someone says, hi Janet, thank you for healing me and my spouse. You're welcome. If time permits, please share any tips for my spouse. Thank you again for healing my family and guiding me. I don't know if she listens consciously. Maybe she does. You can let me know in a survey, because sometimes I wonder about that. Does she listen to these live streams consciously? But anyway, Yeah, okay. She, like many of us, have very pushy, assertive women in their lives. So she has many pushy, assertive women in her life, in her, extended family. And so they tend to come onto her spiritual path and try to boss her around and tell her what to do and tell her, oh, the sky is blue, or go left or go right, or, stop this and do that. And they tend to try to fix her and her life. Here I go with my air quotes today. But the problem is her path is just for her. And when they're on her path, she feels more cloudy and stressed out, because your path should be just for you. And if people are on it, you feel like, like something's wrong. It doesn't feel right, right? So, but the women in her family, her angels say that she needs to get angry with them, but not like out loud, like to fight and argue with them, but just on a spirit level, to be like, hey, you're on my path. You don't belong here. I'm going to now give you to your angels, but like that assertiveness, like that she doesn't need a lot of anger. She just needs a little of her anger, like a little sprinkle, of her anger. She needs a little sprinkle of her own anger, so she can put her foot down with these female relatives, just on a spirit level. She doesn't have to do anything different when she talks to them on the phone or anything, just on a spirit level. Like, hey, you're on my path. I'm going to give you to the angels right now. This is mine, and then it seems like they treat her differently after that, at least for a few hours. So she needs to allow herself to do that. That it doesn't harm them. They're going to have a better day because they're going to focus on their own stuff and not, because otherwise they each have like about 20% of their energy like hovering over her all the time, every day. And that makes them less stable and more stressed. So it's not good for them either. So I hope that makes sense. Just a little bit of anger, a little bit of like, put your foot down with them. You don't harm them. You don't smack them on an energy level or anything. You just say, hey, and stick up for yourself. All right. Hope that makes sense. Someone gives me flower emojis. Thank you very much. Someone says, right when you worked on Let's Clear Our Spiritual Path, I stepped into a garden at the museum. My. I've never been here before. I picked up a butterfly and put it on a flower. It is a coincidence to be on a path in a garden at the same time you say, let's work on our spiritual path. Is it a coincidence? Well, I mean, it's really cool. Let's just leave it at that. I used to go to there's a butterfly garden in Chicago I used to go to. It's hard to find parking around there though. But if you're available during the weekdays, sometimes it's easier. But there are a lot of kids that go there, like big groups of school kids that like mob the place all at once. But you can get there in between the mobs of school kids. It's really cool with lots of butterflies and flowers. But anyway, yeah, I'm glad that you're in nice natural places. That's cool. So yeah, I mean, is it a coincidence? I don't know, it's just cool. I'm glad you're giving yourself nurturing experiences. Oh, so the other person's saying, no, she doesn't listen to it consciously. Thank you, Janet. Yeah, so you can remind her telepathically. I don't think she would mind that kind of advice telepathically. She's like, yeah, no, you could remind me later. So she says it's okay if you remind her later to put her foot down and stand up for herself. She does it with you. She just doesn't do it with them, usually. So, hope that makes sense. All right, you guys are amazing. I'm going to go and have a fabulous day. I hope you guys go and have a fabulous day too, or evening, whatever's next. And there will be another healing in this set in 2 days on Tuesday, the 10th of January 2023. I'm still getting used to the new year. I don't think I'm going to do animal cam just because it's more complicated with all the, because I moved Abel's carrier up here, so it would be harder to give you a nice view of everybody. So let's see, as I close, oh, I can show you a little show and tell. So this is a delicata squash that we grew from, I showed you a giant one, I think, a long time ago, last fall, but we still have one left that we grew last summer 2022. Well, really fall 2022, it finished growing, but we grew it totally by accident because there were some delicata seeds that went into the compost that we put our kitchen scraps in a composter. A nice, actually, if anyone needs that link, I think they're called geobins. They're cheap, and they're just like a mesh, plastic mesh that you wrap around, and so it's open air, which is better for composting. You don't want to, like, if it's closed up, then it can get like anaerobic and smell bad, and that's the kind of bacteria you don't want in your garden. So like a lot of airflow is really good for compost. But anyway, so the other year I had put some kitchen scraps in the compost that had delicata seeds in them, and I thought, well, who cares? We like delicata. If something grows, that's fine. And then I forgot all about it, and sure enough, we did get a delicata plant growing from where the compost was, and this was maybe the smallest one that was good, and we still have it. We haven't eaten it yet. Delicata squash, if anyone has not had it yet, it's very tasty, I think. It tastes very buttery and good. You don't have to remove the skin. You chop it up or remove the seeds, and you bake it with butter and oil or salt and stuff. It's good. All right, you guys are amazing. Take care. Hope that wasn't too boring. All right, bye. Good for you for healing yourself.